Nobody knows what in his head, really. He could use nuclear in any country, in any time, or not. I'm not sure that he will. I'm not sure that I'm sharing with you what I think, but I'm not putting, God bless, that. But that I can't know exactly, but because he's not always adequate, because any adequate people can't, just come to Ukraine and did what he did. He loves his life, I think way of life, and way of how he's managing his lives of others, I can tell, yes. And that's why I think he has to be afraid to use nuclear weapon.
This is my video update on this Sunday, early evening, September the 29th, coming to you from Dubai. Let's talk about some news. And I am in front of, I don't know if you guys see it, I'm sure you see it, the world's tallest building. And just the other day, I was in front of the world's second tallest building. Interesting, huh? Very, very interesting how that works out. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the world today, and let's start things off with an update on the situation in the Middle East, in Lebanon, and with Hezbollah. It has now been confirmed by Hezbollah that Nasrallah has been killed in the strikes in Beirut. Hezbollah has confirmed this. And Israel actually took out most of Hezbollah's commanders, but I believe their top officials, but I believe this morning Israel took out another Hezbollah top commander. He was killed in strikes this morning. So basically all of Hezbollah's top command has been wiped out by Israel. Is Hezbollah infiltrated? What do you guys think? Or is this just damn good intel? There has to be someone on the inside. I mean, I don't know. That's my guess. What do I know? I'm just guessing, but how can intel be this good, this precise? Or is something else happening? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I was reading some posts on X right before I recorded this video, and I can't confirm this 100%. But from what I was reading, after Nasrallah was killed, Hezbollah appointed a new leader. I believe his name was Yassin. And then a couple of hours after he was appointed, he was killed by Israeli strikes. And Hezbollah has now appointed another leader by the name of Safi al-Din. Now, once again, I'm not sure if I'm getting this right. You're getting a lot of news from Twitter, on Telegram. A lot of information is being posted. Some of it is really good and accurate. Some of it is not. But that's what I read as I was about to record the video, that a new guy was appointed leader for Hezbollah. He was assassinated, and then another guy has been appointed. Anyway, that is the update from Lebanon. And in Iran, Khamenei, he was in a meeting where he was being briefed on what's happening in Lebanon, and with the assassination of Nasrallah and possible Iranian responses. And according to Reuters, after the meeting with security officials, Khamenei was evacuated to a safe place. There's panic. There's panic in Iran. That's how it looks. There's panic, or They had to evacuate Khamenei because Iran is going to plan its response. So they needed to take him to a safe place. So things are escalating really fast, everybody. And ABC News, they are reporting that Israel is going to enter southern Lebanon. It's going to be a limited operation, according to ABC News. But Israeli forces are preparing to enter the south of Lebanon. And we are also getting reports, not confirmed, but we are getting reports that Iran is considering sending a small force into Lebanon, into Beirut. So if these reports are true, if these reports are confirmed, then what we may be looking at, and I want to stress may be looking at, is Israeli forces moving into Lebanon and Iranian forces moving into Lebanon. NBC News is reporting that the U.S. is considering sending more troops into the region. So the U.S. is seeing everything that's happening, everything that has happened with Nasrallah, and they are now considering sending more troops into the region. Things are escalating so fast, so very fast. So Biden, he put out a statement following Nasrallah's assassination, and Biden, let me find you his quote. Biden said that the death of Nasrallah was a measure of justice for his 4-decade reign of terror. That is what Biden said. And the neocons are very excited. They are very close to the war that they have always wanted. Yes, they've wanted a war with Russia, but they have really, really been wanting a war with Iran. I mean, this is, for the neocons, this is the big one. This is the war that they have been wanting for decades and decades, and they are so very close to getting it. Some people will say that we're already there. We're already at the point where there is a war. But Bolton, he put out an article on the Telegraph, the UK Telegraph, with the title, "Israel has exposed the lie at the heart of Stammer and Biden's foreign policy. Jerusalem's bold strike at the heart of terror should bring shame to Western states still in thrall to false peace." So in this article, Bolton is saying, let's get going. Let's stop worrying about possible retaliations, or stop being so afraid about what could happen, and stop talking about how difficult it would be to take on Iran or Hezbollah, or being cautious about taking on Iran and Hezbollah. And let's get this war started. That is what Bolton is promising. That is what he's saying. I don't want to say promising, but that is what he's saying. Don't worry about it. Let's get this thing going. Let's knock out Iran, and all will be good. How many times have we heard that from the neocons? The neocons, they always promise big shock and awe, a quick war, a quick end to their shock and awe and their war, and then everything is good. Isn't that what the neocons always promise? And how does it always turn out? It turns out into decades and decades of conflict and suffering and chaos and occupation and escalation. They always promise one thing. They promise a victory and a quick end, and it turns out to be the exact opposite of what they promise. But here we are again with John Bolton and the neocons saying it's going to be a walk in the park. You see, Israel has has proven that this is going to be easy going. So let's get it started and let's get it over with and let's defeat Iran and Hezbollah. So that's John Bolton, chief neocon. Bolton, Graham, all these guys, very excited about what's happening, these neocons. Anyway, let's move on and talk about, how about Lavrov at the United Nations? He said some interesting things, Lavrov. He hinted at the possibility that the U.S. was aware of the pager attack. That is what he said as he was speaking to the United Nations. He actually hinted at the fact that the U.S. probably knew what was going on with the pager strike that happened a week or two ago. So he said that. He also warned the West that they should not fight for victory against Russia. That is a direct quote. Fight for victory against a nuclear power, actually. He said they should not fight for victory against a nuclear power or a nuclear state. It's foolish. It's delusional to believe that you're going to defeat the nuclear power. So he said that during his speech. He also talked about the possibility of long-range missile strikes. And he basically said, look, let's see if the West has gotten the message. Let's see if they have taken our warnings seriously. If they've taken our warnings seriously, well, then there won't be any long-range missile strikes and no red lines will be crossed. Actually, let me see if I have his exact words. Permission for Ukraine to use long-range weapons will show if the U.S. heard what Putin said. Interesting. Politico, they are reporting that the U.S. could still approve long-range missile strikes on Russia. Politico is saying that the White House is considering giving Kiev the green light, despite skepticism in the Pentagon, according to Politico. Not only the Pentagon, but also the intel agencies. Yeah, Biden is crazy enough to do it. Biden and Blinken, they might convince Sullivan. That's the key. You convince Sullivan, and you've got the green light. So Politico is saying that the long-range missiles, permission just might be given. Biden may be dumb enough. Biden is dumb enough to actually give permission. And Lavrov is saying, let's see. That's what Lavrov told the UN. Let's see if they have taken our warning seriously. What else did the master of diplomacy say? What else did he say? He said, we will be glad to see any initiatives that bring about the desire to result, when he was commenting on Trump's words about stopping the Russia-Ukraine war. So Russia is open to talk. They're open to negotiations. But what is Lavrov saying? Deliver the result. The result that Russia wants, that Russia is going to achieve militarily, that Russia is on the path to achieving, that Russia will not be denied. The result, demilitarization, denazification. We know the goals of the SMO. That is what Lavrov is saying. He is saying that Russia, if Trump wins, Trump becomes president, and he's serious about ending the conflict in Ukraine, then he will negotiate with us based on the realities of the ground, and he will take our objectives and our goals into consideration as we negotiate. Russia's terms, our terms, that's a better word. Russia's terms, if Trump is serious about negotiation with Russia, the terms that Russia is going to present are going to be, for Ukraine, they're going to be hard, man. I mean, they're going to be really hard. Ukraine and the collective West, but Ukraine especially, they're going to be wishing that they had followed Minsk I, Minsk II, and that they had not torn up the March 2022 agreement that Boris Johnson sabotaged. They're going to be wanting to go back to those agreements because Russia's terms are going to be very, very hard. And it's not only going to be terms connected to the conflict in Ukraine, it's going to be terms addressing Russia's security concerns throughout the region, throughout the world. So it's going to be tough. Anyway, tough terms. That's what I want to say. It's going to be tough terms. Anyway, that was Lavrov at the UN, and I think that's everything coming from the master diplomat. And Elensky, he is claiming victory from his U.S. trip. That is what Elensky is claiming. He is saying his trip to the U.S. was a success. It was a success, my trip to U.S. Big success, Podolyak, big success. Because Zelensky is claiming that he got the endorsement, as I've been saying over the past couple of videos, he got the endorsement of all three top political leaders. So that's the success. And he got the endorsement from the Don, from Trump, even though Trump really humiliated the man in the green t-shirt, but he got the endorsement, you know. And the Kiev Post, let me get you what the Kiev Post is saying. Oh boy, let's see. Hopefully you guys are not listening to this music, because if you can hear this music, then the algorithms can hear this music, and that's not good. When you walk around and there's music playing, it always makes me nervous. Always. Anyway, what is the Kiev Post saying? Trump will support Ukraine if he wins the election. Elensky, quote, I don't know what will happen after the election and who will be the president, but I received very direct information from Donald Trump that he will be on our side, that he will support Ukraine. Elensky said in an interview with Fox News, you see? He got the info from Donald Trump that he supports Zelensky as Presidente of Ukraine. So for Elensky, this was a success, the trip to the United States. He got what he was ultimately looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Not Elensky. He found what he's looking for, the endorsement of Biden, Harris, and most importantly, the endorsement of Trump. Even though I wouldn't call what happened the other day an endorsement from Trump, to be honest. But hey, if he sees it as an endorsement, if he sees it as support, so be it, bro. If you believe that what happened yesterday when you met with Trump was a show of support, hey, Elensky, what can I tell you? What can I tell you, man? That's some good stuff you got there. Oh boy. Anyway, all right. Let's move on. So as Zelensky was in the U.S. touring America on his American tour, the front lines in Ukraine are collapsing. They are collapsing in a big way. Ugledar, I believe it's official. Is it official now? Ugledar is encircled. All the reports are saying that the 72nd, they're Ukraine, some of Ukraine's best fighters, they're trapped in Ugledar and they're not getting out. And the reports are from the Ukraine military, not the top command, but the reports from the Ukraine military are that Elensky, he did not want them to retreat from Ugledar. When they had a chance to get out, he didn't want them to retreat because he did not want Ugledar to fall to Russia while he was in the United States. So what effectively happened is that those soldiers stayed in Ugledar. Now they're encircled, and hopefully they surrender and stay alive. That's the hope, but I don't know. We will see. And the Russian Ministry of Defense, they announced today that they have captured the town, I believe it's in Lugansk, of Makiivka. I believe it is in the Lugansk People's Republic, but the Russian Ministry of Defense, they announced that they have captured this town, this area as well. It was confirmed, I believe, a while back that they had captured Makievka. But the Russian Ministry of Defense, they always take a couple of more days extra to announce when they've captured a town or a village or a city. All right, I think that's the news for this Sunday. Let's do some clown worlds, huh? What do you guys say? Shall we? Shall we do some clown worlds? From The Spectator, is a Russian threat floating off the English coast? Is a Russian threat floating off the English coast? Maybe it's a Russian spy dolphin. I don't know. Maybe it's Putin in a sub. Oh boy. Actually, this story is kind of interesting, I guess. I don't really know much about what's going on here. First time I've heard about this is from this Spectator story. They're saying that there's a merchant ship called the MV Ruby, and it's anchored off the English coast, and it has 20,000 tons of ammonium nitrate on board, and it's been kind of roaming around the area because the ship is in a bad state, and it's looking for help. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but that's the story with the MV Ruby, a Russian ship, from what I understand, merchant ship, but it has a Malta flag. Something like that is going on. But I like The Spectator because they admit all of this, that this is probably something very, I don't want to say routine, but this is not a Russian threat to England, but they twist the story around to make it seem like it's a Putin plot to endanger the UK. And they say that this is very much like Putin. The Spectator actually says in the article that this is one of Putin's favorite pastimes is using like military and civilian vessels in these types of operations in order to gain intelligence or to see the response times of Western nations, how they react to these types of threats and scenarios. So they turn this thing around. What is probably a ship that has some problems, from what I understand, very serious problems, and it has a very dangerous cargo. But a cargo that's, I believe it's heading towards I forgot the destination. I want to say towards Malta, but I'm probably wrong about that. But it's heading somewhere to deliver the cargo, and it has some problems. This boat, and it needs some maintenance, I guess. But no, this is a Putin plot. This is a Putin operation. Anyway, that is the first clown world. And the second clown world, let me see if I've got it. If I've got it bookmarked here, comes from Lithuania. From Lithuania. Lithuania is firing civil servants who are pro-Russian. That's right. According to media in Lithuania, anyone who is pro-Russian, this includes policemen, firefighters, if they have shown any type of leaning or sympathy towards Russia, they are being fired. Lithuania is actively investigating and dismissing disloyal officials who are reportedly being accused of having pro-Russian views. Local broadcaster TV3 has reported, according to a report aired on Saturday, several police officers and firefighters have been dismissed from their posts or warned about their views and labeled vatniks, a derogatory term used to insult supporters of the Russian government, which derives from a jacket once worn by Red Army soldiers. The report claimed that pro-Russian statements led to job losses, warning that public servants should think carefully before openly expressing their views on social media. A jacket once worn by Red Army soldiers, and that's a derogatory term. You mean the jacket worn by the very army that liberated and saved Europe and saved the world? That's derogatory? Okay. Okay. Makes perfect sense, huh? Anyway, that is the video, everybody. theduran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. Go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch, like the t-shirt that I am wearing today. You will find the link to the shop in the description box down below. Take care.